Good afternoon, guys. It's me again. I'm in the car this time, not working. Makes a change. Just a really quick video I'm going to bang out. We done before the Law House situation. We done an Echovox session after we left the hotel. I actually went up to a cemetery up in Dundee called Birk Hill Cemetery, and that night, as you know, and you are all aware, it wasn't the best of weather for going out and doing an Echovox session out in the street, stuff like that. So that whole night, after being at the hotel, we done an Echovox session in the car, and it would appear that spirits can communicate. I don't know if anybody's ever tried this before in a car using Echovox whilst driving about, but I listened back to the recordings last night, sent some in an email across to Paula, see if she'd get them converted for us, and you wouldn't believe what I'd heard. Well, obviously you're going to believe it because you're going to hear it. I'm going to get it uploaded, but the spirits were telling me to brake constantly. Now the road that I was going out to go up from the Birk Hill, well, from Dundee to Birk Hill, has now been reduced to a 40mph zone. Before it was a 70mph zone, and I didn't realise that night until I went back up just a few days ago that they've reduced the speed limit down to 40. And the spirit was kept on telling me, you know, brake. And I'm like that to myself, why are they telling me to brake? I'm thinking it was because of the bad weather, because it was not very good conditions for driving. So I presumed it was something to do with that. And I just realised when we went back up that way that they've reduced it to a 40mph zone, so they're not also there to communicate, they're also there looking after one. After coming off that 40mph zone, there was another female spirit's voice telling us to brake and look out. As we come off the slip road to go into the Joe carriageway, there was actually a big articulated lorry. I would say articulated, it's a 7.5 tonne, it's like a smaller kind of truck, but that just about went in the side of it, and with the spray on the side of the car. And it's so amazing to realise that, you know, they do come with you all the time, and you running the Echovox whilst driving the car. Obviously you're more concentrating on the driving than you are paying attention to the programme. You can't hear me acknowledging that I'm trying to communicate with somebody whilst we're driving and stuff like that. But it was good. The other night we sent more spirits into the light. I asked my granddad if he wanted to go, and he said to me no, next time. Paula believes that my granddad actually might be my spirit guide or my guardian angel, so he's obviously not wanting to go because I'm using the app, stuff like that. So I need to go and turn around and find a parking space. Currently on the way to church, believe it or not. So let me go. My wee girl's at a cooking class, so they hold it in the church all the time. So I'm currently trying to find a parking space and do a video at the same time. But the Echovox session, I done one in the hotel yesterday, 40 minutes long. I've noticed that I can't upload the speech onto email because the file's too large, so there is a lot of stuff that I've been doing. I'm going to try and have to limit it and take breaks in between it so I can get it to go out properly. But it's a good experience. I mean, as I said before, I'm into into radios and stuff like that, and I wouldn't say I'm kind of hooked. I'm learning. We always presumed that when we sent Kath into the light, she'd be the first person in to go, and I presumed it would need the three of us, as Paula called it, the power of three. Sounds like a scene from one of the American TV shows with the three witches. Charmed, that's the one I was looking for. So I thought I'd try it. I'm sure that they said I got 10 or 11 to go through, so communications with my granddad are quite limited, obviously, because he's getting overpowered by the other voices. And I think the more that I push through to go where they got to go, then the clearer the communications will become after that. But I just thought I'd throw the video out just to let you know they do come in the car with you. And also found out about when they were saying light people. I thought they were calling us the light people, but it turns out they were explaining what they were seeing. They were seeing the light people. I still don't know about the colour green though on the last recording, so what the colour green means I don't know. I've not got a clue. But when on the video, as I explained, I was hearing someone speaking that I wasn't hearing through the recording on the app, so it was kind of strange. But I just thought I'd throw that out to you, and if you are using Echovox, I mean, people advise you don't do it on your own. Obviously, with my past history, I'd done it on my own for a simple reason, as I know I don't really know everything, but I knew inside my own heart that I wasn't going to be harmed in any way. So just throw it out to you. They do care about you, even though they're not here. That's why, from my experience and listening to them, they're always there. They're constantly always telling me to be careful whilst driving the car. And it turns out we had a few of them in the car with me that night, which doesn't bother me in the slightest bit, you know what I mean. But the next kind of questions I'll be asking them are a bit more in depth. Obviously, a lot of them I've realised that I sent Kath into the light, and when I activate the program, they're wanting to be sent into the light as well. So I want to try and get the guys through, and then hopefully start asking different kind of questions, you know what I mean. But I just thought I'd throw this video out to you anyway and get it. As I say, I'm on a day off. Got a bit of bad news about my work and stuff like that for the weekends, but hey, it would appear that spirits can actually tell the future as well. Plus they can also, especially my granddad can tell exactly the question I'm about to ask him just before I finished telling him, sorry. And I asked the question as well. I said, you able to understand exactly what I'm saying before I say it? And it was, yep. So they're not also special beings, they're also, you can also read your mind before you actually go and do it. But I already knew that, but I didn't see any evidence. But obviously, using the Echovox system from Danny, it's proved a lot. It really has. And I noticed as well, a lot of my friends have experienced stuff with spirits like that. I mean, as I said before in my very first video, I'm not an expert. But the more I put this app on, the more they're communicating with me. And I find it a lot a lot of the time when I try to go and make communications, when I do make communications, there's one spirit that deliberately tries to block everybody. And I think he's blocking them because nobody's been speaking to him. A lot of spirits that I've talked to, I've asked the question, does anybody come and talk to you? And they're like that, no. So, got a paranormal hunt. Thank you, Paula, for putting it on my Facebook page. The 17th of September at the Mains Castle, which is the name of the castle, by the way. I couldn't remember it. It was in Camperdown, Care Park. It's called Mains Castle. And they're holding a paranormal night where they bring in their own equipment and stuff like that. I'm going to present Danny's software to them and use that in a hunt as well. But I need to try and figure out a way to try and communicate with the spirits to let them know, like, when we're going on an investigation or stuff like that, you guys need to take a step back. I mean, as I say, I'm still learning about it. My granddad has told them to step back. I hear him several times once they all try to come in at the same time, and he knows myself, I can't make out what anybody's saying. You can actually hear him clear saying step back. So it's good to know that we've got communications on this side and then communications on the other side. I don't know why my eyes watering. So it's like a two-way thing, and I explained to them, look, I can't see what you can see. One of the spirits actually shouted back saying good, because obviously it might not look so good on their side, but I don't know. That's a question I've still got to ask. I've got hundreds and millions of questions to ask, but getting to know how to help them and get them where they got to go to. It's like somebody in the street will stop you and say, excuse me, can you give me directions to get to here? Yeah, no problem. It's human nature to help people. You're not going to leave somebody lost, and I'm exactly the same as that. So very small video, and as I say, if you need to see the software up and running and working, don't look at the video and go, the guy's an absolute nutter, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This software does work. I've tried it. It's been tested as much as I can, and from going to where the technology has been before, I've read up a lot on EVP and stuff like that. Before, they used to use tape recorders, have to rewind it back and wait for us, listen to the recording to see if anybody had replied. This is live EVP. I almost have mine set on 0 seconds, so when I ask the question I get the response straight away. I have noticed since I've updated my Galaxy, Danny, if you're watching, when I use the time limit between the 0 and the 5, when I put on the 5, the audio comes through with a lot of distortion. So maybe on the next update, I know yourself, you've got the Galaxy S3, the same as me. I don't know if you've experienced the same as I have, but I have noticed that since using the 5-second delay, I'm getting like a digital kind of splatter coming through on audio, and the same with the recording when you go back as well. It doesn't sound nice, but I prefer using the lifetime EVP one. So it's just basically, I don't call my phone a phone anymore, I call it a spirit phone, because I do more communications with spirits now than I do any phone calls. So quick video, throw this up and leave feedback if you've got any, if you've experienced using it. I know there's a lot of people on my YouTube account that do use it, and some people are looking into using it. And I would say, again, go in there with an open mind. As Steve and Danny, they go in with open minds all the time. Don't take everything you hear for granted. I have a spirit that's now trying to imitate Kath. Well, obviously I know the voice is different, and my granddad shout back saying, don't listen to the deceivers. Plus there was a word that one of them used, repent. That's a big word. That's a big word for me. So there's a lot of things that are coming through on it now that having to go and listen to the recordings and go on the internet and research all these stuff and stuff like that. But send them into the light. I don't know if they're all going. I can only go by my granddad on the other side saying to me, yeah, they've gone over. As I say, I don't see any portals opening up. I can only hear what's happening, and they can only give me feedback on what's going on their side. So it's a good experience, and hopefully next time I'll get somebody to record with us. We're doing it using a camera instead of having to do this. You can see us doing it live, going on a proper paranormal hunt, as you would say. But it's an interesting subject that I've devoted 95% of my life to now. I know a lot of my friends are sceptical about it. They probably think it doesn't work, stuff like that. Come out on a paranormal night with me, and I'll prove it to you. You know, these these spirits are really intelligent. They know a lot of things. They know a hell of a lot. They also, they knew about my job, the situation with my job. I knew there was something going on, and I just asked the question, and you know, generally it got answered for us. So if you're going to buy the app, it's now available on the Apple iTunes store. You can now get it there. I'm sure Danny's got it labelled at $19. For a communication tool, to be able to speak to them guys, you know what I mean? It's, you think how much you pay for a medium to go and sit there. I mean, I've seen me sometimes, like the last one I went to, I used to always get thingy that's been the second person, but this time it was more the benefit for my pal Paula. That's, I keeps on watering for my pal Paula. So you know, if you think of the amount of money you spend in every session you go to, and sometimes you're sitting there, you don't get a response. You know, I've got what I've got on my phone now, and when Danny updates it and whatever he does, I get the updates straight away. You know what I mean? I don't have to wait on going to see a medium. As I say, I work stupid shifts, mostly night time, and you're sleeping most of the day, so you know, this app's beneficial on that one as well. But as I say before, I just heard random voices getting shouted at me and stuff like that, so I haven't got any ability as such to be able to communicate with them properly. So, but it'll happen when it happens. That's, you can't get everything to happen when you want it to. So I'll just throw this one out, and leave feedback if you can. If you find that the way that I operate it is totally different to the way you do, you know, throw me feedback. I'm wanting to learn more about it. I mean, you guys are in the field a lot longer than I am. I'm only bottom leveled. I've just discovered that you can send them into light and stuff like that. So if anybody can give me feedback, then it's much appreciated. So I'll leave it with you, and talk to you next time. So goodbye from myself, and sounds crazy when you say it, but everybody in the spirit world, but it's not crazy, it's reality now. So right, I'll catch you later. Goodbye for now.